What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Subconscious back with another video, you guys. I got a little quick one for you guys here. Just something I've been thinking about, man. I felt a little bit of a blockage going on. You know, the enemy is trying to get me to basically not record, a video. You guys know how it is. It's a mind game, so I had to push through, man, before I went off to work, make sure that I knocked this out and put in my, put in my work for the day, for the kingdom of God. All right, guys? But this is just something that I've been thinking about today, man. Guys, when you decide to go on SR and, you start to see things differently, you know what I mean? You start to see all the corruption in the world. You get to see, who is who. You get to see everybody's intentions. You can kind of feel people's energy. I talk about it a lot, how you can feel people's spirits, when the discernment starts to kick in, when that heavy discernment really starts to kick in, and every single day you feel like you got that built-in energy scanner to where you could feel people's energy. You could feel what they're doing, like by their body language, by their tone of voice, by what they're posting on social media, all of this stuff. You guys, I know you can relate with me, but guys, once you get to this place, what I'm realizing is that it can be difficult, man, and it's a hard pill to swallow. Mainly because you have to notice, you have to now observe. Okay, you've left the matrix, right? And guys, when I talk about the matrix, I refer to it as basically the kingdom of darkness's tricks and agendas. Satan and his army, whatever it is that they try to push on us, which a lot of people fall victim to. That is my definition of the matrix. All the food that we're supposed to consume, everything that's, at the grocery stores and stuff is poison. All the music that they want us listening to is all glorifying drugs and lustful stuff and materialism and, egocentric stuff. All the entertainment has weird subliminal messages to try to get us into a space. Basically everything that is mainstream, you guys, is designed to lower our vibration, and that, in my opinion, that is the matrix. So once you leave the matrix, you guys, you go on semen retention, because semen retention is a really, really good tool to exit the matrix, right? You start to see, and you really get some heavy discernments. Like I said, I don't know exactly what's going on, with our semen, but there's definitely something spiritual happening, and it's intense, man. But let's get into this, bro. Leaving the matrix can be hard to swallow. That's the title of this video. Basically, seeing old friends, seeing family members who are still kind of under that spell. I kind of like to consider it like a spell. Who are still underneath the influence of the enemy, and it's hard to watch them, having that happen, and it's also hard to even speak to them about it, because they're going to call you crazy, right? Every time I try to go into something deep, my mom can handle, I talked to my mom, a couple other people. My mom can handle God stuff. My mom believes in God, but when it comes to like anything besides just like God, like surface level stuff, she calls me crazy. She's even said that, I need to go to a psych ward a couple times. When I was talking about UFOs, I was talking about aliens, I was talking about all sorts of, different stuff that, guys like us like to talk about, you know what I'm saying? So let's get into this, you guys. Leaving the matrix can be hard to swallow. All right, man. The first thing I wanted to talk about is how semen retention is a great tool for you to exit the matrix. All right. Somewhere along the line, something happens to where, you end up, I've made lots of videos on this before, but you basically get a new pair of glasses and you get to see everything differently. And for me, that happened for the first time when it really started to kick in heavy was probably after 2 months of being on retention. That's when I really started to see how everyone was moving. I remember I showed up to work one day and I got into an argument with one of my coworkers, and I could just see everything like before it happened. And that's when I was like, oh my gosh, dude, like this is nuts. Like it felt like I was on some kind of psychedelic, or something. And I literally saw it happening. As soon as he started freaking out on me, I was like, oh, okay, this is what's going on with this person. He was dealing with something that happened prior to coming into work, and then he took it out on me. You know, he projected his stuff out onto me. You know what I mean? And I could see that without even speaking with him. You know, and it happened, and then I found out later that that was the truth. So it's like sometimes it feels like you're psychic on this journey. You know what I mean? You have this new built-in discernment, and it's an ability to read people's energy and read people, you know, just by how they behave, man, and by what type of energy they're putting out. So semen retention is a great tool for this, you guys. Literally everything changes, man, when the discernment hits. I already touched on it, but you get to see all the different stuff that's going on in the world. You know, the corruption, all the different agendas, all the different things that the kingdom of darkness has set up for us to have our vibration lowered. You know what I mean? Biggest one, man, a lot of it is the diet, is the food. You know, you go to a grocery store, and almost everything in the store is bad for you. You know, I was talking to one of my buddies, and he was saying, you know, when he goes to the grocery store, you just stay on the outside. You know, you just do like stay on the outside. As soon as you're going into the middle of the store, you know what I mean? The border is where you need to be. You know, the meat, the fruit, the vegetables, all that healthy stuff, right? As soon as you go to the middle, you know something's going wrong. So thought that was pretty cool when he said that. So you want to stay on the border, you guys. Shout out to Mark, bro. Mark, he told me that. And then it's all types of stuff, man. Basically, you know, my experience is that, you know, almost everything that is popular or mainstream is basically like a trap or some kind of way that they're deceiving us. Okay, and it's crazy, man, and it's a hard pill to swallow at first, but you have to understand that we live in the devil's playground. You have to understand the environment that we live in. You know, we live in a fallen world. You know, like most of the stuff here is just demonic, and the people that run the world, that have the power, you know, it's fake power. It's not real power. You know, they have money and fame and all that stuff. Those people are serving the devil, you guys. So we got to think about this, and we got to think about who we are consuming, you know, with certain like musical artists, entertainers, things like that, because they're serving the devil, you guys. So got to be mindful and do your research on this thing. There's a lot of people that I've had to cut off. I used to listen to like Little Uzi Vert. I used to listen to Playboy Cardi and stuff like that. I don't listen to them, you know, anymore. As soon as they started talking about, you know, the devil and stuff like that, like, I was out. And I'm sure there's tons of other people that are affiliated like that. They just don't talk about it openly. You know what I mean? But you got to be mindful of this stuff, you guys. And once you receive these glasses, you guys, once you've exited the matrix, one thing that I've realized is that you can't take them off. You can't go back. You know, think about how bad that would be if you were, you know, you've had this realization, then you allowed yourself to go back, right? You know, you just be living a lie, right? You're living, so you can't take them off, you guys. Once you've received these glasses, you got to figure out a way to make it work. You know, figure out a way to alchemize it and turn it into something that you can use for your benefit. You know what I mean? And try not to get down on it. Try not to focus too much on the bad stuff, and keep your mind in the heavenly places. You know, try to walk in the spirit as much as possible. I was just talking to a friend about this last night. You know, walking in the spirit, man. I'm gonna make a whole video about this, but walking in the spirit of God, you guys, is the weapon for this, right? It's to focus our thoughts and our attention on God. You know, basically all times. You know, and focusing our attention on the heavenly things. You know, so the enemy and all this BS that's going on can't infiltrate our mind and get to us. You know what I'm saying, guys? So you got to be walking in the spirit as much as possible. That's our weapon. You know, our weapon is also the word of God. So, you know, be reading scriptures and be walking in the spirit as much as possible. But guys, one of the hardest parts that I've realized of this whole thing is seeing everybody else still participating in the BS. You know, I've had a lot of friends that I meet, and it's difficult, man. I feel like sometimes it feels like I'm being judgmental, but you know, I'll be hanging out with somebody, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, a red flag pops up. You know, it's like I got so many friends that say they believe in God, but they're not really all the way there, right? I know they're still living in their sin, and we should still be forgiving them as much as possible, but there's people that are still under the spell. Sometimes it's friends, family members, everybody. So it's hard to see when people are still stuck in the trap, when you've moved on. It seems silly, right? And you can see how crazy it is, and you can see how delusional everything is, and you can see how big of a issue it is, man. And then it reminds you of your old self as well, so it's kind of shocking to understand that this is all going on, so it can be a hard pill to swallow, you guys, but I think the solution is to rely on each other as always, and keep in contact with your like-minded brotherhoods, keep in contact with other believers, keep in contact with other people that are on SR, and yeah, man, stay strong out here, you guys. If you guys have left the matrix, you got to understand that a lot of people are still going to be stuck, and you can't pull them out. They have to get there themselves, and some people may never even get there, man. So you got to figure out a way to make that okay, to understand that that's just going to be how it is, man. So, all right, guys, hopefully you guys learned something from this. As always, catch y'all later, man. I'm heading to work, so I'll probably hit you guys up later, man. Have a good day, man. Hope you guys stay strong, putting God first, and yeah, man, have a beautiful day. God bless.